Hi guys! So we're going to do a quick fraction review and then we'll get into kind of our review things for today. So this entire week we are going to be reviewing the fraction things that we've learned so far. So what are the parts of a fraction? What makes a fraction? Fractions of a whole, fractions of a set, and lots of time on fractions of a number line. And the reason that we're going to spend this time reviewing is because fractions are really important. It's a big third grade skill, okay? So let's first of all talk about what makes up a fraction. Okay, a fraction is two numbers, one, a line, and then a number on the bottom. Do you remember what the top number is called? Right, it's the numerator. And if my top number is the numerator, what's my bottom number? Absolutely, the denominator. Whoops, denominator. I spelled that wrong. Okay, so a fraction is made up of a numerator and a denominator. What does the denominator tell me? Yeah, it tells me how many parts or pieces am I talking about total? How many are there? What does my numerator tell me? Right, it tells me how many parts am I talking about? How many parts are shaded? So if I wanted to draw this fraction, how many parts do I need it to have? 5. And remember, I always draw one less line than the number of parts I need. So 5 parts, and then how many parts would I shade? 2, because that's my numerator. So this is 2/5 shaded of that rectangle, okay? So that's kind of just our quick memory jogger. Hopefully you remembered all of that. Now, I want to talk about unit fractions. Do you remember what a unit fraction is? So a unit fraction is just one part of the whole, okay? A unit fraction is always going to have a numerator of 1. So if I had this shape, my unit fraction is 1 piece. What fraction would that be? My numerator is always going to be 1. And my denominator is how many parts do I have? So my unit fraction for this shape is 1/4. Okay, that's all we're doing. No matter what you have, I just want to know what's one part of it. So now let's see if you can do it. What's the unit fraction for that shape? See if you can figure it out. Okay, so with a unit fraction, I'm talking about 1 part. Okay, so that means my numerator is 1. And then how many parts are there total? 2. So my unit fraction for that square is 1/2. What would this fraction part represent? 1/2. Okay, just like each one of these would also be 1/4. Okay? So that's a unit fraction. It's one part of your whole. All right, now let's talk about one more thing. Okay, I want to talk about identifying fractions. So remember, we have fractions as part of a whole. And then we have fractions as part of a set. So let's look at an example of each one of those, okay? Fraction is part of a whole. I have one whole shape. Remember I said to think of it like a candy bar, okay? And what if I shade that many parts? What fraction of the rectangle is shaded? Can you tell me? Right, it would be 2/3. 2 parts are shaded. There are 3 parts total. All right, now let's look at fraction of a set. let's pretend that I have counters. What fraction of my counters are blue? What fraction of my counters are blue? Well, first of all, we need to figure out how many counters do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So my denominator will be 6 because that's how many parts I have. How many of them are blue? Right, 4. So 4/6 of my counters are blue. All right, let's practice one example from each of those, and then I'll turn you loose to practice for today. All right, I'm gonna draw a shape. All right, I divided it into parts. I shaded some of the parts. What fraction of that rectangle is not shaded? See if you can figure it out. What fraction of that rectangle is not shaded? All right, did you say 2/5? There are 5 parts total, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 of them are not shaded, so 2/5. Good, all right, let's try a set. I have 6 stars. What fraction of my stars are pink? Can you figure it out? Okay, well, first we have to figure out our denominator. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many of them are pink? 1, 2, 3. So 3/6 of my stars are pink. All right, so today you are going to log on to IXL and you're going to practice skills just like these. Have fun.